Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and this is something that excites me beyond belief, because despite the fact that Eaglemoss have disappeared into the sunset, I have been able to secure the 11th Doctor's junk console from their Doctor Who TARDIS console range of figurines. I'm so excited about this. It appeared on an online retailer, and I did have my reservations about its authenticity, but I snapped it up. As many of you will be aware, Eaglemoss sadly went into administration and are, to all intents and purposes, no more. Those of you who've been following previous employees of Eaglemoss on Twitter, and I have posted about this before, will be aware, may be aware, that there is hope for Eaglemoss collectors. Certainly those who've been collecting some of their part building things such as the USS Enterprise and so on, the Enterprise D and so on, but also those who collect Star Trek starships and certain other figurines. Where there is stock that's been available, that's been purchased by another company, and apparently that'll be announced early in 2023, with also some information on how you can start buying again some of those collections. And there's a view that, and as I understand it, a view to purchasing new ships and new figurines further down the line. Not yet, but further down the line. And this news just broke literally a couple of weeks ago. I was hoping for a bit more, but that's what we've got. But in the meantime, some of that stock does seem to be making its way to various outlets here in the UK. And one of those things, and this is something I was really convinced I wasn't ever going to see, was the 11th Doctor's junk console as it appeared in the episode The Doctor's Wife. So I'm very, very pleased to be able to bring you this video over the festive period, because certainly it was a Christmas present for myself, if nothing else. Now this it was a console that was pretty unique, because in the new series, since the reboot, it was the first time that we actively saw an old style console as if it were from the classic series. And I've even dug out some roundels to incorporate in the video, because some roundels did appear on the set where the junk console was constructed. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of the story. If you want to find out why the 11th Doctor and his erstwhile companion of the time, Idris, were having to create a new TARDIS console made out of old bits, you'll have to go and watch the episode of Doctor Who called The Doctor's Wife. Interestingly, the console was developed as part of a competition that was run, and it was someone called Susanna Lear, I believe, who won the competition by designing this junk console. There's more information on that in the magazine that comes with this, but I do encourage you to if you are going to pick this up, good luck looking for it. And again, I think you might start to find some of these making their way into the UK market. I can't speak internationally, but they are out there, they are coming. So focusing on this first, there's some fantastic, as there always is with Eaglemoss stuff, but again with this particularly, it was designed, part of the remit of the design was it had to consist of odds and ends and look thrown together. So we've got lots of lovely detailing, I'll pick it up shortly, but you've got this musical keyboard here, you've got a monitor, you've got, I mean, this is fantastic, that's actually a karaoke microphone, you've got a shaving mirror there, you've got a shower head here, a desk lamp there, lots of cranky controls, old-fashioned cogs, buttons. It's a really evocative blend of what's gone before. Also these security ropes that hang from a couple of the panels here that you can see going around. As I say, I'll get it in my hand momentarily. You've got the Perspex time rotor column there with some wires dangling down. You'll notice on my model the shower head attachment leans a little bit close to the central column. I dare say I might be able to straighten that out, but I'm very reluctant to do anything that may damage this, because as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most collectible pieces of this collection that I've ever had, simply because it's gosh, it was, well, I didn't think I'd ever see it in my hand. So talking of getting it in hand, let me do exactly that. I'm going to pick it up and let's have a look. It's very, as usual, it's very, very sturdy. There's some wonderful detailing. There's also wonderful detailing underneath, so you can see where there's space for an additional safety thing, safety cord. There's some on the plinth itself. There's some detailing. You can see it's obviously ceramic, but hand painted. So as a result of being hand painted, some of those keys aren't quite straight, but you know what you're looking at. Old school Yamaha-esque keyboard. We've got that monitor there, very like the old TARDIS with the BBC computer, CFAX computer screens there. Love that shade of blue. Round here you can see that there's that karaoke mic that's jutting out there, and you've got that extendable, two versions there of it, sort of extendable mirrors, shaving mirrors. Some wonderful detailing on these assorted knobs and switches and what have you. There's the grill that forms the central column. Looks more like a steam chimney. Almost like a Lego-like top. Let's come around a bit more. There's the desk lamp, like another crank handle there. There's the desk lamp attachment there that's pulled out. Some very nice paint detailing. I know people will always complain that the paint detailing isn't perfect, but these are hand painted, so you know, I think you're going to find that there is the occasional lapse in hand painted quality. There is the shower head attachment, which you've got the main bar and then the wire of the shower head that goes all the way up. And we're back to the monitor again. I mean, I think it's a really beautiful piece. We turn it on its head, we can see there's the official designation, Junk TARDIS console. It's a felt base, so it's already picking up all sorts of this, that and the other. But I really love this. I love all the TARDIS consoles to different degrees, and you know, I may yet do a ranking of them in terms of the models that Eaglemoss have produced, and whoever then picks up on if we do see some more, because there are more to acquire, and I'm still not entirely sure that they wouldn't go, because I'm sure there's a collector's market there for it. It wouldn't sort of deviate into the Masters TARDIS and other TARDISes, but there's a couple of other Third Doctor iterations. You know, there's the 11th Doctor's first console as well, the sort of chrome monstrosity, as I like to think of it. And of course you've got the already in existence, but and I have seen this in a couple of online secondary market retailers already, the 9th and 10th Doctor's sort of grunge phase console. But again, already I'm seeing that online for around $250 and pounds you know, and I'm not paying that. I'm sorry, not doing it, not paying it. It might be worth it, and there'll be people who will pay it, and I'm not judging you if you're one of those people who will pay it. I won't. But one of the reasons for that is I think we will see more of that stock emerge, and I think that some people will pay that, and they'll feel very, very unhappy when it starts to come down, and there are more of those models available. Now again, I could be super wrong about that, but I feel pretty positive that I won't be wrong. I feel pretty positive that we're going to have some success in finally seeing that, because I thought this was a no-hoper. I've also got a couple of the Star Trek starships on pre-order, which will never arrive from the point of view of the pre-order. But that said, if they're now beginning, if the stock exists, and when I was following up on where these were, I've no reason to disbelieve what I was told. I think they were sitting in canisters in China. I think that stock's been purchased. Some of the stock will have, as does tend to happen, slipped through the net, and other retailers would have acquired it. You know, that's up to them. That's their business. As long as it's not being, there's no scalping going on, and this was not at a scalpable price, I would say. it was pretty much the price it was being advertised by its original retailer at. So just with additional postage, which I had to pay, but that's fine. I can live with that because I'm really thrilled to have this. And it wasn't its original box, which I won't be able to fit into this, but it did come with the official magazine. And so there we have the junk TARDIS console from the Doctor's wife. So, you know, I do think that there's a lot of these things were made, they were produced. There's some nice picture-esque work from that. There's a breakdown of the various different components of that TARDIS, and you can see what everything does. It's a really good, I mean, again, it's always a nice to read, high quality magazines, but not huge amounts to read, but it's a nice magazine. So yeah, so I've no qualms about thinking that there's any sort of knockoff or rip-off occurring here. And I'm happy with what I paid for this. As I say, I'm not happy to pay over £200 for the equivalent in the 10th Doctor's TARDIS. 10th, 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS console. Not doing it, sorry, move along. That's me saying that now. Obviously in a year's time when I can't track it down, don't quote me on that, please. But certainly this is keeping me going and keeping my hope alive for future Eaglemoss products that I thought, in the aftermath of what happened earlier in 2022 with Eaglemoss, I thought may never see the light of day, but here we are, and I couldn't be happier. Does the junk TARDIS console deserve a place on your shelf? I think it absolutely does. If you've collected the other TARDIS consoles, then you're in for it, you know, you're in for the long haul. So I think, yeah, this certainly does. The detailing on mine, pretty spot on. A couple of paint blemishes and inaccuracies, but nothing that I can't live with, and it is evocative. And for the crime of not being able to add this to the collection, it would have been had I not been able to. I'm rejoicing. So I'm probably looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. So forgive me on this occasion. A small observation. Some of the TARDISes have come with the rotor being a separate. This is neither a criticism nor a praise, it's just a fact. With the time rotor section being separate, that is not the case with this model. It comes as a standalone single entity. There's no detachable parts, so it is a single unit. I still wouldn't pick it up by the time rotor necessarily, because the rest of it, the base and the body of the console, far outweighs the time rotor section. So I would hate for anyone to get one of these and then to see it damaged in a perfectly avoidable way. So if you are handling one of these, as with all the consoles, please use the base to use it, to carry it around, etc, etc. You will feel the benefits for doing so. Trust me on that. Okay, right, well, thank you very much for spending the last 14 or so minutes with me. You have been a fantastic audience. I, as ever, have been the time-travelling toy collector, and this has been the junk TARDIS console as it appeared in the episode The Doctor's Wife, under the guidance and guiding eyes of the 11th Doctor, as played by Matt Smith, standing there in his character options form next to his TARDIS. If you thought this was useful, by all means hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and it really helps get this out there so people know that there is hope for other Eaglemoss releases. Equally, whilst you're smashing the like button, why not subscribe to the channel and also turn on those notifications so you never miss a future video, which may well include the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS console from Eaglemoss, and possibly other Eaglemoss releases that we may have thought would never ever see the light of day. But for here and now, I am so pleased that this is now in my collection. I can't tell you, but you're probably getting a sense of it, and quite right too. Okay, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you along for the last 15 minutes. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Be careful and do try not to get exterminated. Bye for now.